Lucas Glover is your favorite ball striker's favorite ball striker.
But in the last, 5 starts, has the Ryder Cup gotten on your mind at all?
About 15 minutes ago.
What'd you think?
I think I've never made it, and I want to.
And if you, I think you'd have to win next week to earn your spot onto the team. If you don't, would you pick you?
Right now, yes. Playing pretty good golf, and think I'd be pretty good in the team room and be a good partner. So yeah, absolutely, I would.
We are the Bearded Bros Golf Show, back again for another week. I am Rod.
And I'm Marcus.
So we're currently going live at the end of the St. Jude Classic in Memphis, Tennessee. It looks like, spoiler alert, that Lucas Glover is going to win based on Patrick Cantlay going into the water, taking 3 wood off the tee, not clearing the fairway, and Lucas Glover just put it center of the green with a putt to win it, and possibly 2 putts depending on what Cantlay does after this drop. Per Cantlay style, he's still trying to figure out what he's going to be doing. So kudos on Glover for just getting up there and hitting the ball and not getting iced by waiting around for Cantlay to do his thing. So,
right.
And we have a video, and I think you got a couple of views earlier today as, Cantlay's been in contention talking about slow play. I feel like he's been on the tip of our tongue for the last month or so with this putter situation. I'm super proud of him for not anchoring. And yeah, what do you think about Lucas Glover?
Guy is trending all the way. I guess I was talking about it at work. Man, is he going to be good enough to make one of the captain's pick to get into the Ryder Cup? Do you think that's even possible? He gets 4. What's wrong with just taking a wild card as one of the 4,
I think he's playing some of the best golf in the world right now.
Yeah.
Is that wrong?
You ain't wrong. You're not lying. You're not far off. As far as what the other top guys are doing, so who's to say he doesn't make it? Zach Johnson. He's an old guy, knows him probably personally from throughout the years.
Yeah. It's not going to be a sexy pick. People aren't going to fawn over the pick, but you also can't argue against it.
Yep.
So kind of preparation for that. I went and looked at some stats and wanted to pull up, just because, I titled this episode, Lucas Glover is your favorite ball striker's favorite ball striker, amongst many on the tour. And, just wanted to, again, validate some stats with how he is actually playing. So it's not just, us saying he's playing well. Up here, I started with the approach stats, and you can just see, I think one of the ones that just, it's crazy, his proximity to the hole being, number 1, 33 feet from the hole. And, with his putting coming along these days, even from approaches 200 plus out, 27th, greens and regulations 9th, and this is this full season, and approach to green strokes gained 16th. Let's look over here to his driving stats. Very respectable. He's not a long hitter. Driving distance, you can see that being, personified. He's at 294, or just let's say round up 295. It's just 138th on tour, but that's not bad. He takes a lot of 3 woods off the tee for safety. Driving accuracy
probably takes a lot to get into yardages he likes anyways, which is probably, and that's the thing. When you're a ball striker like that, 5-iron and 6-iron are like scoring clubs for you because you feel comfortable hitting irons like that. So there's nothing wrong with driving at 295. Shoot, there was a lot of years where Tiger wasn't the longest driver because he didn't even take driver a lot. He took 3 wood, he hit the stinger. He knew what yardages he could play to. So I'm not mad at that at all.
And if you can be 294 and 7th in accuracy, that's pretty dang good. Total driving 31st, strokes gained off the tee 39th. Very respectable. I'm sure, again, he's probably been very high up on these stats for quite some time. But the stat that we've been talking about is his putting. And let's go to these stats. So, the last few weeks notwithstanding, these stats are pretty dreadful,
Yeah,
honestly. But watching with our eyes over the last, month or so, this has dramatically changed. And I would,
absolutely.
love to see a segmented section. PJ Tour website doesn't allow you to kind of sort in that way. At least not what I've been able to find to just say, hey, what are your last 4 tournaments? But you can see 166, 77th in terms of putting average,
Yeah,
putts per round, 142, one putt percentage, 90th. So very poor as it relates to his putting stats. But shit. When you're 33, feet from the hole and putting the way he's been putting, man, that dude is crushing it. And we're kind of down to the end here. Patrick Cantlay has a putt to force another playoff hole. Glover has tapped in for his par.
oh my
So
god,
it's
can't leave.
shuffling.
Every day I'm shuffling.
We're shuffling. We're still shuffling.
uh,
And finally letting it go, giving it the distance. And it just veered off at the right. So Lucas Glover officially has won his second consecutive tournament. FedEx Cup standings. He's in the top 4.
I was about to say he's top 5.
Still behind John Rahm, Rory McIlroy, and Scotty Scheffler.
Yep.
So, this dude has been made a massive charge in the last month to just, I don't know, he's killing it, man. And it's hard to say that he's not going to keep playing this way. Looks super comfortable over the ball. Same setup. The setup is super repetitive and solid. It just takes a look over his left-hand shoulder, sets up, and, regrips one time, and then he goes at it. It's just such a comfortable look over the ball and has that familiar, just kind of, it's a solid sound off of his club. So, man, Lucas Glover, salute to that man for what he's been doing. Seems like a really good dude. Just kind of super solid, and you can just tell he's a family dude from the end of the tournament last week. I just read an article before we hopped on about him washing his clothes while he was on the road, just because he had just finished a book and was bored. So ran short on clothes, not taking his stuff to the cleaners. He's just like a regular dude. And making bank these last couple of weeks. So Lucas Glover making a charge up the FedEx Cup standings. I'm sure that will be, I'm sure he's been on the tour for 20 plus years, but some FedEx Cup money, top 5, it's pretty spectacular. Won't hurt his bank account one bit at all. So one thing that we missed when we were talking about Lucas Glover that I don't want to completely ignore is my man sweating through his pants this week. So I was able to find a video on Twitter of, not a video, but somebody screen grabbing Lucas Glover out there sweating through his pants. So I don't know who he needs to partner with. And this isn't super great. This is somebody taking a picture of their screen, but you can kind of see the upper part of his legs. He's pretty moist. And, I know you also are a bit of a sweater, my guy. What do you think? What's he doing wrong here? Is he wearing some tighty whities underneath his golf slacks? The golf slacks are a little bit thinnish. They're not exactly your typical golf slack. So what do you think's happening here, man?
I think he needs better quality pants or a different thickness. Cause that's bad. Especially when you're walking and it looks like that. Like I feel like when I'm sitting down in a cart and constantly kind of getting up and down from the same heat and stuff like that, mine's gonna look even worse. But for you to be walking and it still be looking this egregious, Lucas, I need you to. I don't know.
I don't know who. I don't know. With him having the success that he's had, I hope that he's able to find a pants sponsor, somebody to step up to the plate. It's just I don't know. I'm trying to figure it
This
out
might be
because
superstition at this point. The way he's trending, this might be superstition. He might
well,
just be
he's not.
sweating through these on purpose.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that. So that article that I read about him, um, washing his own clothes on the road is that he finished off in a different color last week. We know Tiger has the signature black and red on Sundays, whether he's in contention or not.
Yeah.
Typically, players have a script on their clothes and kind of finish off a tournament. I think John Rum wears like a kind of a reddish pinkish shirt, kind of salmon, and gray pants on Sunday. But he said he was wearing something completely different. I don't think he's superstitious at all. But again, not a good look. We don't see this on tour week to week. I remember our uncle who is heavy into golf. He said he went to the Masters one year and ended up watching like a practice round. And Nick Price, who was a baller back in the 90s on tour, he said that Nick Price was wearing the most expensive pair of golf slacks that he had ever seen in his life. They were like at least $1,000 for just some golf slacks. And when you think about probably
Yeah.
what Lucas Glover's wearing, these are probably some Fabletics type material. It's so
All right.
interesting. And he
Men's
went with the light
Warehouse,
colors
like,
all
ugh.
week. So grays, I think he did have like on the charcoal one day. But again, somebody come sponsor and help this man out. He can be the face of your brand, sweat wicking or whatever the case may be.
Oh yeah. Get him out of
All
those
right,
Men's
guys.
Warehouse exclusives.